Hello again. This video is for all of my loners out there. The concept of this video is how being alone made me become a better version of myself. So I, as a 23-year-old woman, have had lots of ups and downs in my life. When it comes to my lowest mentally, it would be high school. Yeah, high school, the worst 4 years of my life. Would I ever go back? No. Why would I ever go back to high school? I hate that place. But the shift to my depression started when I was in 8th grade, which is kind of a crazy concept to think of. Like, I was really an 8th grader, just, I hate my life. But it happens, and it happened to me, so I'm living proof. But it fully festered into my soul freshman year. And this mental decline caused me to isolate myself from people, which basically means I was alone a lot of the time. I obviously had my family because I live with my family, but we all also had a lot of different schedules, and that caused me to be alone a lot. But again, this video is about how being alone made me a better person, or a better version of myself. Although the isolation that I went through was honestly super terrible and I hated it at the moment, I look back on it as something that should have happened to me. Lola, why are you at my mic? The reason why I don't regret it is because going through this period of my life, I was able to fully get to know myself. There is a problem nowadays where people cannot be alone. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, seeking human relationships, that's not a problem. But the issue is when you genuinely cannot be by yourself. And I see that a lot in relationships, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial. Familial, I think, is a different story. But I see a lot of people who, when they get into relationships, it's merely the fact that they are with someone. Like, they don't have an actual connection with the person they're trying to date or they are dating. Usually it's because they cannot be alone. For me, I did not date anyone until I was 18 years old, which isn't a crazy age or anything, but for me, I did not have a problem with it. I was so content being by myself that I did not seek meaningless relationships with other people. And I know it's kind of crazy to just assume that people's connections with others are meaningless, but when you get to know the person, you're like, okay, yeah, you do not love that person. You do not love Bob from the store that you met 2 seconds ago. Obviously, I love my boyfriend to death, and I would do anything for him. And if I have the opportunity to spend every day with him, I will. But if he needs to do stuff by himself, I know I'm able to be away from him, even though I'll still spam text him sometimes, like, do you love me? Are you sure you want to be with me? But that period of me being alone helped me greatly prepare for a relationship. And let me be honest, was this isolation from society something I had planned? No. Yeah, right, Lola? No. If I could, I would have really wished I was like the most popular girl in high school and everyone loved me and everyone was trying to date me, but I was like, oh no, I can't do this, and everyone wanted to be my friends. But that wasn't the case. I was a kid who, when we were playing Kahoot and I was on the leaderboard, people would look and be like, who is Jade? And yes, that genuinely did happen to me a lot of times. But still, I am glad I had that alone time to myself, because you know what I was doing? I was just sitting in my room, binge watching anime, binge watching BTS videos, and delving into the K-pop space, like down into the dungeon, and then also reading fan fiction. Not only that, I was just in a lot of fandom spaces. I was a nerd. Thank gosh I'm not a nerd anymore, right? Right, guys? But the point I'm getting to when it comes to that is because I had so much time to myself and I was alone for so many years, which sounds terrible. Like, I obviously had family, I had my beautiful cats, but in the end I still had a lot of alone time compared to the average teenager. Because I had so much time by myself, I was able to discover new interests, find out what I like, and honestly develop a personality. Because when you're around people all the time, you kind of curate personalities for the people you're around, if that makes sense. Like, when you're away from people, you just stop caring what people think. That was me. I would show up to school wearing the most raggedy hoodie you'd ever seen in your life. and I'd wear that like 3 days straight. Not saying you should do that, but I did not care what other people think. And because of that, I was able to actually form a personality for myself. The way I am is because of me, it's not because of other people, and I'm proud to say that. When you stop trying to impress other people, that is when you become the truest version of yourself, and I think I am the truest version of myself. I used to film so many videos and vlogs, and you know who I'd show? No one. It was just for me, and now look at me. I'm posting videos for everyone to see, and then I'm just gonna get like 200 views, but it's okay. But yeah, how are you gonna be the truest version of yourself, or even an authentic version of yourself, if you're just putting up a facade for others? Like, sometimes you have to put a different personality on for other people, but if you're doing that all the time and no one actually knows what you were like, then what's the point? You shouldn't have to hang out with people and be like, okay, let me hide this from them, let me do this, blah blah blah. That's why I love being by myself. Not only that, but I developed a lot of hobbies because I was alone. I've always loved drawing, but because I was alone, my love for drawing honestly skyrocketed. I would get books, I would look up YouTube, like watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to draw, and because of that, my skill went up. And if I could, I would want to be an artist. That would be super cool, but it's something I do on the regular. Like, I keep a sketchbook with me all the time, but if I didn't have that time to even like get back into drawing in the first place, then I wouldn't even have that as a hobby, honestly. And again, filming videos. Would I even make a YouTube channel if I didn't always film videos when I was in high school? I don't know. I can't tell the future, but you get the point. After all these years alone, I did end up having a little spike in motivation. I had a reality check and I was like, maybe I shouldn't be so depressed and unmotivated all the time. And so I got super motivated. I started going to the gym. What else did I do? I started doing better in school, blah, 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 blah. But this all started right before the summer of junior year. Once the summer of junior year hit, I was like, oh, frick. I'm not gonna have classmates. I'm gonna be by myself again. But this time, I utilized that time to actually focus on introspection for myself. So I'd keep a journal, and every morning I'd just write down my thoughts, like just dump my thoughts like crazy, and just write. And I'd try to address the problems in myself, because I obviously was not a perfect person, and I still am not a perfect person, but everyone has flaws, which is super cliche, but they do. But obviously it's super hard to admit flaws, because like, why would you want to be like, oh, I have this, and this wrong with me, Lola? But I decided to write in that journal about everything that I thought was wrong with me, which in hindsight can seem like a bad idea, but I just self-reflected on my problems and tried to kind of pinpoint where those stem from, because obviously all my issues don't stem from other things, but I felt like I was able to understand myself a little more, because I still am, but not as much. I was very insecure, and I feel like that insecurity honestly hindered me in a lot of ways. And not only that, it was just, I had no motivation for anything, and I had to start taking accountability for that, because I can't always blame it on everything. Those hours I spent journaling honestly helped me greatly. I not only journaled, but I also took videos, so I'll try to find it. I might still have it in my phone, but I used to take videos in high school. Like, I just propped my camera up, and then I'd sit there and just be like, I'm so depressed. What's wrong with me? I think I have a video of that. If I can, I'm gonna put it in right here. There's this weird animal next to me right now. It's kind of freaking me out. The amount of hair I have. Absurdity. That's cute. I'd take so many videos just speaking to the camera and trying to like dump out my feelings. Didn't show anyone. It was fully just for me. And when you pour out your feelings and you know no one is gonna watch it or anything, that's when you, again, can be honest with yourself and pinpoint the issues that you have in your life and with yourself. And after lots of self-reflecting and lots of crying, I cried a lot. This was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start going out more. And I started going out more, rekindling friendships, meeting new people, trying new things, and getting closer with my family, but I feel if I didn't have that time alone from most of other people, I wouldn't have been able to flourish as much as I have in my friendships and relationships. Because if I didn't know myself, then it's like, okay, what business do you have trying to make friends with people or date someone if you don't even know who you are, you know? And that would just cause more issues in the long run. So I am grateful for that period in my life. And not only that, I'm obviously not as alone as I used to be. I have an amazing family, amazing friends. I go out more. I have a job. I do have a job. I'm employed. And I have a perfect boyfriend. So I'm not alone as often, but because of those years in high school, I'm able to be alone if I need to. Like, I'm very capable of being alone. I still spend a lot of time alone. If I want to go to a bookstore, if I want to go to a coffee shop, go to the gym, go to the store, do anything. A lot of the times I do it by myself. I'll eat by myself. There really isn't an issue doing any of this by yourself. And I understand the stigma, because once I went to get breakfast by myself and this man paid for it because I think he felt bad for me. Like, I think he genuinely was like, oh, you're eating by yourself? And then he paid for my meal, so free meal for me. But this dude was 100% being like, oh, it's okay, like a little pity, but that's okay. I will say though, do I recommend people going through actual isolation? No. What I do recommend is if you do have time to be alone, like let's say you have a day off and you don't have any plans for that day, try to utilize it by just spending time by yourself. Because if you are someone who gets uncomfortable being by themselves, I think whatever age you are at, because some people do this later in life, earlier in life, I think it's best to try to start to understand yourself, because once you do understand yourself, you do start to love yourself a little more. And once you do become the truest version of yourself, you will, like I said, flourish in all of your relationships, because you're not trying to be someone else. You're not hiding behind whatever facade you have up for other people. And you'll be less tired. Like, it's so tiring trying to put up a facade for every single person you meet. And I'm not saying be rude to people, but be who you are. And the only way you could be who you are is if you actually understand who you are in the first place. Because I know a lot of people can be lost in finding themselves, and I have been before. But again, all this time alone has helped me. I am grateful for all those years of isolation, because I have become a better version of me. Anyways, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. Oh my gosh, thank you guys. I really thought I was gonna be stuck at 40. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be posting to 40 people every single day, which is fine. But I'm glad to have reached 100, because I love everyone who watches my videos. Next goal, 110. I'm not joking, that's my next goal. Subscribe if you have not. Like the video if you liked the video. Comment down below what other videos you'd like to see. Also, let me know if you want other types of content. I was thinking about making some sort of like vlog content, or honestly maybe I'll post book videos, drawing videos, haul videos, anything like that. My channel is supposed to be a wide variety. I think I've just been sticking to one thing because that's like the easiest thing I can come up with or do. But maybe I'll try to vlog. I don't really do a lot in my day. I just work most of the time. I just work a lot, and then that's it. But if I end up doing something fun, I'll try to vlog. Or I'll do like a room tour. I don't think anyone wants to see my room. It's a mess. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you loved the video. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JadeSnoops. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I'm trying to post weekly, but it's ending up being bi-weekly, which is fine because it's like a paycheck. I don't know if that's good or bad, but thank you for watching the video. Mwah! Here's Lola. Say bye. Thank you.